More than 100 years ago, in a mountain village in Switzerland, lived a man whose strange experiments with the dead have since become legend. That man was Baron Frankenstein, and the result of those experiments was a man-made monster that wreaked havoc upon the local community. Hounded from his homeland, the Baron continued his experiments in a variety of European states, always with the same disastrous consequences. Ultimately, Frankenstein's criminal past caught up with him, and he was committed to a lunatic asylum in Carlsbad, where, it was rumored, he continued to experiment upon the unfortunate inmates. After that, nothing more was heard of him. That is, until...
It was hardly necessary, Professor, to use such violence upon poor Dr. Sinclair. He is, after all, simply following my instructions.
You can hardly expect me to go along with this nonsense willingly. I shall seize any opportunity to inform the authorities of your insane plan.
That would be most unwise. Next time I might not be quite so lenient.
You fiend!
There we are, Dr. Sinclair. All better now.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now take the Professor back to the cellar and don't turn your back on him for an instant.
Don't you worry, sir. I shan't make that same mistake again.
I hope not, but it might be the last mistake you ever make. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, crystal clear, sir. Shall we, go downstairs, Professor?
Are you asking me or telling me?
Aren't you forgetting something, Dr. Sinclair?
No.
The keys!
What exactly is your role in all these shenanigans?
Oh, I wouldn't call them shenanigans. He's deadly serious, you know.
Serious about what, exactly?
Well, between us two, he's going to destroy the peace conference.
And you're helping him? This is outrageous. Unfortunately, I have no choice in the matter, but you? Why would you do such a thing?
For £50,000, that's why I'm doing it. Besides, it's better than the other option.
Option? What option?
Oh, I didn't want to share the same fate as his other occupants here. Ooh, horrible it was, sir. Horrible!
Who is this maniac we're dealing with? For heaven's sake, Sinclair, who is he? What is he?
Well, I wouldn't like to say. Perhaps it'd be better coming from a baron.
The Baron? Who's the Baron?
Oh, you'd like him, sir. He's a real gent, not like him.
And just when do I meet this Baron?
You already have.
The Metropolitan Police say there is still no word on the whereabouts of Professor Richard Matthews, the eminent weapons scientist who mysteriously disappeared earlier this week. The professor had been due to attend a cabinet meeting at 10 Downing Street last Tuesday, and is also expected to address the International Peace Conference in London this coming Friday. From New Scotland Yard, Michael Brunson.
Hello?
sends this
9787.
Is that you, Margaret?
last seen last Monday evening.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I want to speak to Margaret. Would you tell her it's John, John Sutton?
I think you've got the wrong number.
I don't think so, old man.
I think you have.
Well, will you just tell her that I need my money and I need it now?
I'm afraid there's no one called Margaret here.
£10,000 she owes me. 10,000 plus interest.
It's no concern of mine.
Look, I don't know who you are, but I must speak to Margaret, old man. Look, I tell you what, I'll come round there.
Well, that's as much as I can do for now.
Is it finished, Ben?
No, and it's not likely to be. Without these special components.
Oh dear. He is not going to like this at all.
Not going to like what?
I shall be unable to complete this device without these components.
What do you think, Dr. Sinclair?
Oh, I really wouldn't like to say. Germ warfare is my speciality.
Well, if you must have them, you must have them.
There's something else. I refuse to complete this device until you tell me, sir, who you are.
That is no concern of yours, Professor. Just you concentrate on the... Concentrate.
What's the matter?
Don't interfere.
What's happening, man?
No, leave one alone. You'll be alright in a minute.
In God's name, sir, who are you?
Allow me to introduce myself, Professor. I am Baron Frankenstein.
You seriously expect me to believe, sir, that you are the infamous Baron Frankenstein? He is.
Whether you believe it or not does not concern me, Professor.
But Baron Frankenstein lived and died over 100 years ago.
Lived, yes, but I did not die.
What nonsense. You don't even look like Baron Frankenstein. In fact, I'd say you look more like his wretched creation.
Capital, Professor. Now we're getting somewhere.
This is all beyond me.
The Baron has had a brain transplant.
Thank you, Dr. Sinclair. I'll deal with the explanations. I take it then, Professor, you are familiar with my work?
Like Jack the Ripper, your reputation precedes you.
Charming. Unlike that backstreet butcher, I was simply a victim of what today might be referred to as bad press.
Look, are you or are you not Baron Frankenstein?
Yes, but I am also my own creation.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
What you see before you is Baron Frankenstein's original, undying creation. But within this cranium now rests my brain, Baron Frankenstein, which was transplanted by my faithful assistant prior to my imminent demise.
I see, but that doesn't...
I know what you're going to say, the split personality. Now mainstream science still takes the view, does it not, that personality, the mind if you will, resides exclusively within the brain.
It does?
In fact, Professor, it does not, as I have learned to my cost. The mind, or if you prefer, soul, exists throughout the entire material body. Consequently, I am not alone in here.
Fascinating. Please, continue.
The cutthroat and highwayman, whose body was the basis for my creation, is also very much alive here. Worse still, the fact that his body represents the greater percentage of the whole means that his personality is usually dominant.
Am I to take it then that it is he who is responsible for murdering the occupants of this house, and that it is he who is behind this insane scheme to destroy the peace conference?
Indeed, it is his intended revenge upon mankind for the injustices he feels he has endured. Now we haven't much time. Dr. Sinclair, I want you to...
You were saying?
What was I saying? Ah yes, those components. I shall obtain them once I have dealt with this other matter.
Margaret? You in there? Margaret, it's John Sutton.
It's open. Come in.
Look, oh.
I take it you're Mr. Sutton.
Is that you, George? And where's Margaret? And what's the matter with the lights in here?
Kindly state your business.
Look, old man, I don't know who you are, but I must have my money, and I'm not leaving here until I've seen Margaret. What's this?
What you asked for?
Oh my God!
You see what sort of people we're dealing with. Listen to that. For goodness sake, Sinclair, you really can't expect a creature like that to pay you £50,000.
We've got an agreement. Sinclair here.
I'm going out to get those components shortly. Be sure and keep an eye on the Professor while I'm gone.
Very good, sir. Sir, is everything all right up there?
Just a bit of unpleasantness. Someone demanding money.
You see, you're not getting £50,000. You'll be lucky to get out alive.
Perhaps you're right.
Now's our chance. You must get out of here, alert the police, and warn the authorities.
Had to show the little woman the back of my hand last night, Ted. She lost the rent money. How? Perhaps said she saw the ambulance outside your house. I told them doctors she fell down the stairs. Bit of quick thinking on my part. I wish I was that clever, George. Someone's upset Shirley. Your turn, I think, George. Just leave it to me. Here, what's your game? You can't come here helping yourself. I warned you. Right, you've asked for it. George? Cool, he never walk again. Quick, Arthur! Ring for an ambulance! Here, there's the kettle.
What on earth? There's somebody up ahead.
Now's our chance. I say there, can you help us?
Well. We really must stop meeting this way, Professor. I'm very disappointed in you, Dr. Sinclair. I think you know the way. And now, Dr. Sinclair, if you would be good enough to fetch me a sample of the virus.
A sample of the virus?
You heard correctly. Excellent.
Well, what about me then?
I have no further use for you.
No.
No, Frankenstein! No! Don't do this!
Go away!
You're wasting your time. I no longer care what you do to me. I absolutely refuse to complete this device.
I'm delighted to hear it, Professor. However, I think we're both aware that the bomb has been ready for some time.
Baron Frankenstein!
Your little ruse worked for a while, but I don't think it'll be taken in a second time.
But what are we to do?
Prime your bomb, Professor!
Hey?
There is no time to waste. We must destroy both the virus and the creature himself.
But if the creature dies?
I know, but there is nothing else to be done. Now, please, Professor.
I wish there was some other way.
There isn't. In any case, I find myself tiring of this world. It is not the world I once knew. Besides, it is the only way to be rid of him and to be free again.
Two minutes. You have 2 minutes.
Excellent. Now quickly, Professor, make good your escape.
Surely there must be something.
No. I prefer it this way. Go, Professor, now!